everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Trans Gurus. We are back here. We've got 85,000 followers. Wow, 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 wow. I have to say, I have to put this on, right? Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
today we've got a very, very interesting theme, and probably one that probably not everybody is on the same page, but for myself, I am. It's called Thankful to be Trans. Just very simple.
Mhm.
Thankful to be trans. What does it mean for you? So, who wants to go first? Jimmy would like to go first?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Let's go.
Okay, so if we got 85,000 subscribers, talk about responsibilities and obligations that we have on this panel to provide wisdom and insight and intuition and guidance and experience that I would say that we're, all four of us here, I would consider us elders of our tribe. You know, we've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this topic today, and I think it was maybe an episode or two ago. You know, I declared I won the galactic lottery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think uh, with the uniqueness of anything, a genius. There's probably about as many geniuses on the planet as there are trans people. I'm just taking a guess, but could be close. So with a genius comes obligations and responsibilities. You got to be able to manage all that horsepower. So myself as a transgender individual and a alpha, I'm tall. Um, I I have a good presentation, and with that comes obligations and responsibilities. I know I'm an ambassador for our tribe, so with that comes a certain code of conduct and ethics and how we behave and present ourselves and interact with others, and do so in such a way that we present the trans community in a positive light. And that's how I live my life. So I think I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be who I am. But that blessing comes with obligations and responsibilities. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. Being a trans person, you got obligations and responsibilities that come with this gift. Learn how to develop your mannerisms and your conduct. You develop a code of conduct. Develop ethics and how we carry ourselves and how we interact with others. Because we're not only just representing ourselves, we're representing the entire tribe.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life. And I look at it from the perspective that I won the galactic lottery. Ella.
Thank you. Absolutely. I agree with you with the Galactic Lottery. Bobby, your turn.
Oh, you know, there is a lot going on. I don't want to pretend that we live in a bubble. There is a lot going on right now trying to discourage people in the trans community and trying to make us ashamed of who we are. And so for us to get on and talk about how grateful we are that we're transgender, that is a really powerful reversal because our world is saying, oh no, we don't want people to be like this. And we're saying, oh yeah, watch this. And um and and I'm like Jimmy and Ella and that I and Raji too in agreement that it is like winning the galactic lottery in terms of the richness of the life. Now I'll be honest, for a huge chunk of my life, I thought being trans was a curse. I really did. It's like, why me? Why me? Because I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't make it go away. It was terrifying. It was terrifying as a child. and I had no vocabulary. This was back in the 50s and the 60s. I had no vocabulary to even to begin to describe what all this turmoil that's going on inside of me. And so um, it really felt like a curse. And there were tons of, oh my gosh. And I'll just throwing this out to all the subscribers. How many of us, every time we had a chance to blow out the candles on the birthday cake, or toss a few coins in a fountain, or to make a wish on a shooting star, how many of us said, oh God, please make me a girl, or if you could just please make this go away. And you know, it was really a very, very tough thing for me to live with and to deal with, because I was in a culture that is, oh no, 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 you are not allowed to live like that. You have to live like this. Well, that would be fine if I could flip a switch and start living like that. But it's like, no, no. And so it's like, what am I going to do about this? And I promise I'm not going to talk a whole lot about religion, but because that was so paramount in the culture in which I grew up, and there's all these people telling me all of this stuff about how effective fix all this. I'm going to start reading the Bible for myself. I am going to find out everything the Bible really teaches about gender and sexuality. And oh my goodness, what a huge deal that was, because most of the stuff we learn is taught to us by heterosexual people. And all they've ever read is the parts that apply to them: how to be a good husband, a good father, how to raise your children well, how to have a pure dating relationship. That's all they ever see. They don't go in there to try to really dig out and glean everything it has to teach about gender and sexuality. And my goodness, when you do that for yourself, your eyes will really be open. And it starts with the words of Jesus himself. It's Matthew 19, 11, 12. He's, oh, I want to read this. It was what he says. Uh, Jesus replied, oh, the Pharisees are trying to trip him up on issues about divorce and remarriage and all this stuff. And just kind of real mystically, he said, not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who were born that way, and there are eunuchs that were made that way,
Right?
and there are eunuchs that choose to become
Choose
that way.
that way.
That's right. Or to enter the kingdom of heaven, and the one that can accept it should accept it. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's been hidden in plain view
Yeah.
for thousands of years. Why didn't anybody ever talk about that? And so I look at that and it says, not everybody can accept this, only those to whom it is given. And it's like, you mean to tell me this was a gift? This was something you gave me? And that really changed everything. It's like, here you have Jesus speaking on behalf of God, saying, we did that on purpose. We make eunuchs on purpose. Yeah, yeah. And it's a gift. So it was like that really sent me on another journey. And I would really, and that's why I often identify as a eunuch, because I want all the people who are making our lives miserable to go read their Bibles and see what it has to say about eunuchs and gender and sexuality for real. Study that out, because you are making laws that are cruel and harming real people out of your ignorance. So let me just put it like that. So, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, no wonder this never disappeared. It was given to me. This is who I am. Oh my gosh. Now, I won't, it took a little while to work through that. I'll be honest, because for so much of my life, I've been believing this was a curse. I was living in fear. I was hiding all this stuff. And it was like, oh, and you know, that's another thing about being transgender, because you're kind of forced to make some real decisions about who you are, what you want out of life, what you're willing to shed and abandon in order for you to have this. And and then you step into this world that you were made for. That's the thing that was really, it was like, holy smokes, I was created to be transgender. once you accept that, you can start having a whole lot of fun. and it's like, this is who I am. And I don't want your approval. I don't want your permission. This is who I am. And I am going to live large. I'm going to live out loud. I'm going to live happy. And the thing that amazed me was, for the first time in my life, I liked myself.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. And now the world is trying to hate me because I finally love myself. I finally like who I am. It's like, just leave me alone. you've got plenty of stuff of your
Mhm.
own to work on. And so, yes, I am quite thankful. It has opened up a world of richness and abundance and joy and gratitude that I never imagined was going to be possible. It has opened up layers of love and friendship and acceptance and opportunities. Uh, and it has allowed me to discover who I can be when I really want to tap into that energy of who you were created to be. And so, yes, I am quite thankful to be trans. And I'll pass it back to you, Ella.
Thank you. I love your voice. Your words are really good. And I love that sentence that you just read because it's really quite incredible. Roger, your turn.
Wow. Oh boy. Okay. Hi, everybody. Yes, Dr. Bobby, I love what you just read from the Bible because I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. I don't
Right.
follow a particular doctrine, but
Mhm.
I do know that people will sit in church all day and say that we're an abomination and, talk negative about us. And right there in that very Bible that they use against us is Jesus saying that we belong. We are here for a reason and we are a gift. What we were given is a gift to the world. So I love you reading that. I in regards to gratitude, I just want to say that when anyone, no matter who you are, transgender, gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, uh, any race or culture that you are, religion, when you are able to be in a state of gratitude, it is a blessed state to be in no matter who you are, when you're able to look around in your life and find things to be grateful for, that is powerful. And you will see how when you can be grateful for the things that you are and that you have, the floodgates open and many more blessings come your way. So I loved when I heard what the topic for the show today was going to be, because I just know that being in a state of gratitude is a wonderful place to be. In regards to me being transgender and me having gratitude and being thankful for that, I have to be honest. I am now at that place,
Mm.
but not in the beginning because of all the challenges and hardships and all of the stuff that comes with trying to maneuver in this world as a trans person. And so thankfully I was able to get to that place where yes, I can truly declare that this is a gift, that me being transgender is a gift and we are a gift to the world. The other day, and I hope I have the actor's name correct, Jeremy Hunter, I think his name is, he was in a horrific accident a
Oh,
few
yeah.
years back.
Mhm.
Horrible. And he was in the hospital for a very long time and had to go through all this rehab, and it was definitely a challenging thing. But he was on TV the other day and he said that he wouldn't change a thing. He would not change a thing. He said that this experience for him, after as hard as it was, and after he had been through all of it, when it was all said and done, has been a blessing to his life because he's been able to look at life from a different perspective, really sit down and acknowledge the truly important things in your life, because we as human beings, oftentimes we get caught up in stuff that's not really important. Like, I think that's what COVID did for us too. A lot of people like were made to just stop and be home in the solitude of their home, and wow, oh my God, what is really important for my life? What are the things that I really do need to focus on? So he said that about his accident. And I then started to think, wow, would I have changed being transgender? If I had the ability to change that, way back when I was that little queer kid getting picked on and all, would I have changed it? And at the place that I sit now, where I am in my existence now, the answer would be no. Because me being transgender is just the way it is. And because of that, I have been able to experience things that a lot of other human beings aren't able to experience. I have the gift of duality. A lot of human beings don't have that gift. I have that gift of duality. I've been able to touch so many people and be an affirmation for them that yes, it's okay to be who you are, be your true self, be your authentic self. That is a great honor, to be an example to the human race that, you know what? Yeah, all the naysayers can say whatever, but despite all of that, I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing in my truth. That is a wonderful example to people. And whether they know it or not, even if it's not on a conscious level, subconsciously, it is planting the seeds. That's why I say, well, I'm an act of activism no matter where I go. Whether it's the post office, the grocery store, the gas station, because I am living my life and doing the daily things that anyone has to do, but I'm doing it authentically as the person and the essence that I am. That is a gift. And I can go on. The list goes on and on, but it's a wonderful place to be in when you can look at something that could be taken as a curse. It's kind of like the glass half empty and the glass half full. How are you going to look at it? Yeah, I could sit here and say, oh, woe is me, and I've been through that. I've been beaten up brutally 3 times, and all the discrimination and all. I could do that, or I could look at all the wonderful blessings that my life has because I'm transgender. So you can either look at it as a curse or a blessing. And I choose to look at it as a curse because I'm able to see not a curse. I choose to look at it as a blessing. I want to clarify that because I'm able to see all of the wonderful blessings that my life has had because of me being trans. And so, yes, I can say I am thankful to be trans. Ella?
Oh my
God bless you, Raji. God bless you.
Thank,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful words. I'm going to have a little bit of a problem to try to say something new, but
thank you, Ella. I'm just glad you didn't bring me any Brazilian cheese bread or some or some hot Brazilian poppy.
yeah, I am sorry. I'm a little bit late today. I'm going to do my very, very best because I arrived this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, traveling from São Paulo in Brazil. Anyway, um, I had a little rest, but everything is going to be all right. So, to our team, our wonderful, absolutely great theme, which is, are you thankful to be trans? So my first thing is to tell, I didn't choose to be trans. They manufactured me this way. And am I thankful for it? like my colleagues, gurus, it was not always a blessing, or we did not always look at it as a blessing. But we do, I mean, I personally, I really do look at it as a blessing now that I am in that role, that I learned to accept myself. I learned to go around the world as myself, a trans woman, and proud of it. And believe me, most of the people I work with knew me for 20 years, so they knew me before. So I see myself as well as a kind of ambassador for our cause. And of course, I'm an activist. I had a wonderful life until now. And I think I'm going to have a wonderful life in the future too. But I have to say that a hell of a lot of my internal feelings and gratitude and freedom and even my abundance, my everything that I have is due to the acceptance that of what I am. It didn't come automatically. Like for most of us, it took a while to learn and to find out where you are. But I did it and I liked it and I am happy about it. And I cherish every single day for it. And I say my gratitude for it. Now, is this only for trans people? No, it's not. It's for everybody. Now, one has to say that with trans people is probably a little bit more difficult because, some people lack something called tolerance. Mainly some very, very extreme religious people, and I don't mean if it's one side or the other side, it's all over the place, which think that there's only one way of living and it is their way. But look at nature, open your eyes. Nature is perfect. Nature has got everything. And by the way, being trans or being gay or being whatever is not only to the humans, it's as well to the animals. And the colors of our flag, our gay LGBT flag, transgender flag, is nothing else than representative of nature, because nature comes in all colors and forms. All colors and forms. And I think this is so important because, hey, learn. Oh, I have to put my fellow here because they're all coming with our flags.
Yeah,
Because it is exactly that, we all come in all colors and forms, and we are part of nature. We are not better than or worse than any other animal, nature, and anything. Yes, probably there are, less, less incredibly intelligent people than transgender people, or the other way around. But that is the wonderful thing about life, is that there is different people, that we are not always follow a stereotype, which is 100% for everything. And some people want us to force into that, which is, from my perspective, completely wrong. I am proud to be a transgender. I am very thankful for my journey. It has been an incredible, beautiful journey with ups and downs. And by the way, the downs are just as important as the ups, because that's where you learn. And I think that does not only apply for transgender people, it applies for everybody. So people, learn. You are the most important. You are the universe. You are the center of your universe. You are the universe. We all are. The other people may have their universe and they can rule their own, but you rule yours. That is the most important thing. And yes, galaxy. Yes, I'm very happy to be transgender. Oh my God, I do. And by the way, I travel a lot, and it's very nice that I mix between Eastern and between Western type of people, and I see that the opening for myself from these people is pretty high, probably but easier in the East than in the West, mainly in India, but it's just as much. Next.
So I'm listening to y'all, and I come up with two different potential scenarios. The first being journey from curse to gift, and I guess that could be the experience of some people, but I don't think that applies to me. How I would portray my journey would be from unrealized to realized. I used this analogy before. Growing up, uh, we had black and white TVs. I was totally cool with the black and white TV. Like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And then someone came up with a color TV. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. So that's the same idea. Like, everything is how we perceive things. You can perceive a person uh, with disabilities or some maybe less desirable trait can view it as a gift or a curse rather. But there's always a way. And there's always a way to evolve. And I think the discomfort of is because, see, our future self exists outside of our current comfort zone. So our to become our if we were to become our future self without going through the steps, uh, you have to grow. We have to grow to meet our future self, and that's the part of the journey. That this is where the whole reason why this podcast exists is to share our life experiences from growing to where we are now. We all didn't start off this way. It's a journey. It's a long journey with a lot of obstacles and traps and so on. And that's because it takes a certain amount of responsibility and management skills to become a successful human being and even a successful transgender human being. So we have to develop leadership skills along the way so that when we arrive, we know what we're doing and know how to navigate through life.
Yep.
And that's why we're all here, Ella.
Absolutely. Next. Bobby, go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny because so much, and everybody knows this. You can basically divide trans and non-binary people into two groups: the ones that came from very supportive environments, and the ones that came from just the opposite, the ones that were going to do whatever it takes to make you to quit being trans. And that's all luck of the draw. I mean, you will never meet anybody who chose to whom they would be born, when they would be born, and where they will be born. That just doesn't happen, and so we have got to all play the hand that we are dealt. And so some of us uh, it's a little more obvious how to play the hand because of the environment we live in. And some, it's like, oh my gosh, I wish I had some better cards, but what am I going to do with this? And so you learn to do it. And you're right. Um, I come from a place where my world did everything it could to beat the transness out of me. And and I survived and I saw through the lies. I found the truth. And that kind of resilience, oh my gosh, that is really priceless. It's like the world has thrown the worst it has at me, and I'm able to pass through that with gratitude and with an attitude that I'm not angry about it. I'm not resentful. I'm just it's just that I have learned that one of the reasons people are so upset with trans people is because we represent transformational change.
Mm.
We represent what could be viewed as an ordinary human being, a caterpillar, like James always likes to talk about, that one day becomes, oh my gosh, this amazing butterfly that looked nothing like this little squirmy caterpillar. So it was like we represent transformational change. And that is scary. That is really scary to a whole bunch of people that have been taught that no, you're supposed to conform and live in a box. We put you in this box the day you were born, and you need to stay there till we marry you one of these days. And it's like, why in the world did you assign me male at birth? Because I'm obviously a diva. That's what I should have been assigned, you know. So, but it took me a little while to figure that out. And so, and that's it's. I think what I'm trying to get to is that because of the things that we have persevered through, and the things that we've had to learn about ourselves, we have also come to understand quantum spirituality. And by that, I mean, we understand the power of how we think, what we focus on, what we believe, how hard we believe it, uh, the vibrations that we have within ourselves. Like, are we vibrating down there in resentment and ingratitude and bitterness and rage? Or are we being authentic? And, you know, I remember the people closest to me, the ones I needed the most for this journey, abandoned me. And it was really ugly. It's like, are you kidding? You think you can be trans and a public school teacher? Those kids will eat you alive. And it was, I mean, they would tell me all kinds of horrible stuff like that. And the truth of the matter is, I was one of the most popular teachers that had ever taught there. And when they do the surveys at the end of the year about students and, you know, what teacher helped you the most or who's your favorite teacher and things like that, it was like, no, I was not devoured by those kids. They, I inspired them because they saw that you can live without restriction. I mean, there's a whole bunch of self-imposed limitations that we carry around with us until we realize those are all self-imposed. We don't have to do that. It was, you know, it's like the whole world and all of the energy and all of the stuff that's available to us. And I think that's another reason why I'm really grateful to be transgender, because I don't think I would have discovered that that we have power, we have agency, we have courage that can carry us places we never imagined that we would go. And we can take the licks that the world gives us and say, is that the best you got? Because look at me, I am happy. I love who I am. I am so excited. I'm so grateful I did that. I would never go back to my old life. Never in a million years. And the point I want to make is transformational change is something that's available to everyone. Not everyone is transgender, but everybody can find a gift within themselves that if they really nurture they could have a big influence in this world. And it may be
Absolutely.
athletic, it might be artistic, it might, be inventiveness. It's all kinds of stuff. And
Ab-
so I think that's another reason I'm grateful I'm trans, because I know I inspire people
mm,
who have been stuck in an old way of thinking. And it's like all of a sudden they realize, oh, wow, well, I can think a little bigger too. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're coming up on 45
Yeah,
minutes, Ella.
absolutely. Raji, you go.
So today's show is about us being thankful for being trans. But I want to say to everyone, whoever you are, you can be thankful for your identity and who you are. So no matter whether you're trans or gay or heterosexual, whatever your situation is in the world, you can find ways to be thankful about that. And my prayer for the world is that each and every one of us can really get to a point where we're able to see the blessings that each and every one of us are. I think if people could truly see that in one another, we wouldn't have half the problems that we have in the world as human beings. That's my prayer. For people to be able to be thankful for who they are, and in that, be able to look at others and appreciate who they are. And just, and I really believe that that would resolve a lot of the problems that we have here in the world, living together as human beings with our own individual identities. My thing is, we're all connected and we're all a part of this existence. And if you think about it like this, go to the ocean or think about the ocean and look at that body of water. That's existence.
Mhm.
And then take a cup and scoop out of the ocean some of the water. Okay, so now that water is in an individual cup, but that water is still a part of the ocean. And that's what we all are. We all are a part of existence and we're connected. Who's calling me? We all are a part of existence and we're all connected to one another. And if we could think of ourselves as like the ocean and, we're just little cups of water in our own individual identities and manifestations, but we're still all connected. That's where the power is. Ella?
Let's just make a last round, a very fast last round, because we are really a little bit late.
We
Jimmy, you
really
go.
got deep.
Jimmy, you go.
In here in Fort Lauderdale, there's a rainbow church called the Sunshine Cathedral, and the Reverend would always end the service by saying, "We are all God's miracles, not God's mistake."
Mhm.
Ella.
Absolutely.
And hold on, just one other thing. Raji, I'm thinking about the philosopher Rumi said something to the effect, uh, the entire ocean is in one drop of water.
Mhm.
One drop of water is in the entire ocean, something to that effect.
Yes.
So we're all quantum entanglement.
Yes.
Read about it. We're all connected. Our
Well,
consciousnesses are all connected somehow.
Bobby, your last word.
yeah, and you're all right. And I'm always thankful that one of the things we try to do is to take what we've learned and to talk about it in a way that applies to everybody, whether or not you're trans or gay or anything. So it's just there's some principles about driving that we have discovered that really work for everybody. And so, yes, being grateful for who you are, who you were created to be, that is such a gift. And I am so very thankful that I was created transgender. It has taken me a long time to realize all of that was gifted to me, uh, and and it was worth everything. It was worth everything, and I would go through it again, no question. So I guess that's what I want to say is to not be fearful of who you are, to embrace that and to showcase it and to be authentic because the world is really looking for authentic people, real people, and do what you need to do to become real. That's all.
Raji, you're last.
So, in closing, I just want to say to anybody that may see this video and watch this show and hear my voice, find your gratefulness.
Mm.
You be thankful for who you are, for the person that you are in the world, and shine bright. I love you.
Yeah, I think that is the most important thing in life is to find yourself, the little things of yourself inside of you. Trust your mind, trust your feelings, because that's the only way to go. There's nothing else. Well, with those words and giving you a have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week. We'll be here next week again. And namaste. Bye, everybody.
Peace and
Bye.
blessings.